Welcome everyone back to the channel. How you guys all doing? I hope everyone is doing well. So today's video, passed to you, passed to me, passed to developers, we've got something quite interesting actually. Pretty cool tank. Not a lot is known about it. I had to do a bit of digging, but I found two articles. Now, as I've always said in these videos, take the articles with your own knowledge as well. So don't always go on Facebook value, because it might not always be as it seems. But this is the best I could find. Okay, so what is this machine we are looking at? Yeah, it is today a Swiss machine. The Nahkampfkanone 2, if I'm saying that right, guys. I am sorry, I don't mean to butcher it, but that's the best I can get the translation to. It is Sweden's project to make a tank destroyer. Now, there were three variants made. This is the NK2 or the Mark II. There is a third, as you will learn in the article when I go through both articles. So yeah. And before we get started, please don't forget to hit that like, comment, share, and subscribe. It will be mighty appreciated. So let's jump into this and let's read a bit. This self-propelled gun was one of the most interesting Swiss-made armored vehicles. Dispute the fact that it was never accepted in service. It was not totally originally per se. It was more like an assembly of existing solutions innovated by other parties, and it was by no means bad. The program was cancelled for economical reasons, not design ones. Okay, this vehicle, as you can see in the pictures, as you guys know, if you've been a long viewer of this channel, you will know the only rule is there must be at least one vehicle completely made with this pass to me, pass to you developer series. That is my only rule. It mustn't be like certain vehicles that are already in War Thunder, where they took a turret from that vehicle, but or that vehicle which never really was made. Only the body was made there. The turret was rumoredly made, or the engine specs are disputed. So yeah, my series, it must be made and it must be unique to appear there or in this series. Requirements for the NK2 were laid down in March 1943, with the real design work started on 28/01/1944, when the SPG parameters were finalized as such, guys. So that means, like I said from the beginning, take some of the stuff and put your own knowledge to it. 75mm gun or a 105 howitzer. That's quite a big gun. Maximum depression of 14 degrees. Maximum elevation of 26 degrees for the gun, or 38 degrees for the howitzer. So they wanted 28 degrees for the 75mm, and for the 105 they wanted 38 degrees of depression, elevation, sorry. Telescopic and periscope sights available. So you could put this vehicle quite a bit actually in the tech tree, but I would like, yeah, some of the people on my Discord said a premium. I think you could maybe put the Mark 1 and Mark 2. And I will tend to do videos on those two. Let me know. I did find sources for them. So if you'd like to see that, then let me know. In the end, the NK2 close combat gun project took a while to be developed. As many as 4 variants of the vehicle were considered. In June of 1946, a single prototype was made, the only one of the 4 that would be actually built. That's not actually true, guys. In my research, I did find the Mark 1, I think it was, and the Mark 3 variant. I'll just go make sure, but I did see there were in the series, others that were also made. Yeah. Where were we? Okay. A single prototype was made. Only one of the 4 that would actually built. It weighed 24 tons and was armed with the 75 millimeter L49 gun. Its frontal armor was 70 millimeters, but the other article also says 80 millimeters thick. And maximum speed was 50 kilometers. The vehicle had a frontal transmission that resembled the American design, actually, but was of the Willison type, clearly influenced by the Czechoslovakian-made Panzer Wagon 39. So that is the tank, 39. The hull was in turn heavily influenced by the French Portrol bolt with rivets, curves. Okay, so in other words, what they basically just want to say there, ladies and gentlemen, is that it's a solid mold. In other words, if anyone knows anything about foundries, metallurgy, they got a big mold and they just pour the molten steel in there and it's a solid cast, basically. That's what they're trying to say there. The crew consists of 5 men, commander, loader, driver, and 2 gunners. Legacy of the main weapon. Okay, let me wait for my screen to come back. Okay, thank you. Weapon. Being originally an AA gun, the vehicle was propelled by a 12-cylinder Saracen 16-liter CV1DL engine, producing 300 horsepower. The suspension was a mixture. This is quite interesting, this piece actually. And this is something I've always said. I do like the ingenuity that goes into some of these things that are passed. I mean, if you look at the first Arab War, I think it was, with Israel, Syria, and Egypt and all of them, the mixture of tanks that were involved there. I mean, the Syrians, and that had like T-30, Panzer 4s, Panzer 5, sorry, but it was Frankenstein Panzers. It was a mixture. The Egyptians had Shermans that they had modified. The Israelis had a couple of tanks as well that they had tried to modify. Ingenuity is brilliant. I love it when ingenuity gets to work like this. Was a mixture of Czech drive sprockets, supplied rollers, American road wheels, and German Panzer 5 style idlers influenced. Even through the self-propelled gun concept was becoming somewhat obsolete, the vehicle turned out to be quite good, especially considering that the fact that the Switzerland was not exactly experienced in tank design. The point of the vehicle was... Sorry guys, I just need to get closer to my screen. It's a very small screen, the second screen. The point of the vehicle was assembled and tested in Thorn, where it is currently located, as well as, unfortunately, after 2 years the project was cancelled for economic reasons. The Czechoslovakians offered the Switzerland the 15-ton G13 tank destroyer, which was already mass-produced. The NK2 mantlet, by the way, comes from the G32. The G13, sorry. The G13 is actually a Hansa tank destroyer. I went to Google that because I heard that name and it's actually a Hansa. Disputes not being mass produced, the NK2 actually turned out to be fine. Disputes some similarities to the G13. It was completely an original vehicle. I'm showing all my stuff here at the bottom. That's what it looks like from the site. I also, while doing research, I was reading on some forums and that they said the Stug didn't watch its figure and it let itself go a little bit. So yeah, depressing times after the war. So that's what must have happened. Now we're going to one of my favorite places to get sources, and they actually don't have a lot on the tank, so I'm not going to read all of it. 4 different types was the A1, the A2, the B1 and the B2 were planned, but one prototype was made and that did not see service. Only drive tests were made in Thorn from 1946 to 1947. For testing in troop deployment, development was stopped in 1947. The prototype is now on display at the Tank Museum in Thorn. Okay, let's go through the actual statistics of the vehicle now. You guys know the name. I said the name in the beginning. Type light tank destroyer, place of origin Switzerland, in service 1946 to 1947, used by Switzerland. Production history: designed 1946, manufacturer George Fletcher Baron at Otland and Saurus. Number built 1, variants A1, B2, B1, B2. Mass 24 tons, length was 5.24 meters, width was 2.85 meters, height was 2.15 meters, crew was 5. Armament, this is where I said there was conflicting reports, 80 millimeters. So I think for a tank destroyer, about 75 to 80 is a reasonable amount of armor. Actually, main gun was the L49 75 millimeter puck with 45 rounds. Engine was the 90 V12 4-stroke Saracen CV1DL, 280 horsepower. Suspension was a leaf spring. Maximum speed was 50 kilometers or 31 miles per hour. Speed off roads was about 25 kilometers, which is not bad. It's quite a fast little machine off roads actually. So yeah, and that brings me to the end of it, but we're not finished with the pictures. Let's look at the pictures. It's got a big booty, very big booty at the back, and those love handles on the side also quite big. Do we skip one now? No. Okay. Quite a nice shot here from behind if you can get to it. And the exhaust are also inwards, so it's 10 to 1 to try to hide the vehicle. Check out the colors. You can see the mantlet is a Hetzer. Any way you look at it, that mantlet is Hetzer mantlet from get-go. And that reminds me of that one French tank with the commander's cupola up top there. That one French tank over there. And this reminds me a lot of a Sherman. But they did say the gearbox and that sat in front, so inside inspired by the Americans. So this reminds me a lot of a Sherman. And then this whole shape, you can see it's one solid cast. You look at that. It's a look there. Sherman, really. And it's nicely angled actually, quite well. And you can see it's a chunky piece of steel, this. It's not just a small piece of steel. But yeah, that's a weak spot over there, definitely. It's Sherman front suspension. That is a Sherman nose. You just want to punch it. There's a nice little weak spot. There's a nice overpressure would work nicely over there. That's a nice little weak spot. The mantlet, I think, should be pretty strong. There's the engine rusting away. But altogether, it looks like a very solid vehicle. So, yeah. That's all I've got to say on the matter, ladies and gentlemen. Please don't forget to hit that like, comment, share, and subscribe. And yeah, keep well, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.